All right. I invite people to talk about the claim of the moment, which is America is racist. I predict we will not get many people for this because of the culture of fear, but let's find out. Let's see if I'm correct. I predict that if we get anybody for this question, if we get anybody, they're going to stand on the strongly agree. That's my prediction. But I could be wrong.
I think the people who do disagree with the statement would not want to come up here because they would get canceled.
Correct. I think that's right. So
It does exist.
so cancel culture does exist, right? In a climate.
I have evidence of that right here, right now.
Yeah, well, I would love to disprove my own hypothesis. Let's see if we can get people.
What do you mean by like America is racist?
Well, I'll let everybody decide.
I don't know. How can you decide if there's no grounds to build off of?
You can offer a definition.
I mean,
So my role here is not to tell you what to think or anything. It's just to see if you agree with yourself.
I agree with myself. I don't like. Wouldn't that lead people to make up their own definitions rather than like?
What's wrong with that?
There's no like point in arguing if you all have your
Correct, but nobody's arguing.
debate.
Nobody's debating.
Oh, it's just like what is it supposed to be?
Seeing if it can figure out what's true.
Oh, that's debating, right? Because they try to convince each other.
I'm not convincing anybody of anything. I'm just paving the way for you to convince yourself of something.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Well, thank you.
All right, you want to stand on the line? I need one other person who wants to come and talk about this claim. So, everybody get in the middle line. 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. All right. So, let's talk about that. Why did you stand on strongly agree?
Because it's an institutional, historical process that hasn't changed till today. Racism, I mean, and we still live it.
Okay, so if you were to bracket the historical, so there is like the present tense, like right now, America is racist.
Yes.
Okay. Why did you stand on strongly agree?
100% what he said. It's practically in our history. There's nothing that we can change to do it. There's no reform that's going to fix it. America is racist. It's practically built on racism, and I don't think anything could change it. We should just abolish like everything and
Abolish what? This is a different.
the not abolish, but like completely like reform the Constitution. I think like completely rewrite the entire thing.
Completely do what? I missed that.
We need to erase the history that has been done. Not erase it. We need to learn from it, and we need to completely rewrite it. We need to rewrite history. And I think we're making it more progressive that way, but it's definitely not working. It's
Okay, so you strongly agree that America is racist.
yeah. One of the main things I pulled up the national anthem because one of the main things that America's trying to hide is the national anthem and its racist lyrics. Like
Can you read them to us?
yeah, no refuge could save the hireling and slave. It's practically built on racism. America is racist. That's nothing.
Okay, and you agree with the claim that America is racist.
Yes, I do.
And how come you're not in the slightly agree or the strongly agree category?
I was debating on whether or not I should be in strongly agree or agree, but when we look at the statement, America is racist, America in itself is a country, but you have to think of like what exactly the country is like comprised of that makes it racist. And I would say like the government policies, it's people, certain actions that people commit, such as like hate crimes or, the exact opposite of that, uplifting people who have been marginalized. I think I'm not in strongly agree because I feel like although like America is clearly racist, there have been a lot of people and a lot of people who try to actively work against that. So I feel like if I were to stand there, I would say the entirety of America is racist, like everyone, everything, the entire government. But I feel like if you look at history, if you look at certain policies, if you look at certain politicians, if you look at certain actions, like I wouldn't be able to say like everyone is racist. Like,
And so that's why you're on this line as opposed.
Yeah.
Would you take what she just said and be willing to move to the agree?
No, because I'm taking America as a country, as a government, as an institution, and everyone that lives here lives by patterns that nurture racism and nurture colonial practices that we're still that being carrying since then. And it comes from capitalism, it comes from colonialism, like post-colonialism, and still like happening. If you cannot buy from Zara and still say that America is not racist.
Okay, so can you give them in particular 3 examples of laws that are currently racist in this country?
Yeah, well, I know the one that I've studied like most recent is like the Ellis Act that I think it's like most about San Francisco, and it just
Current laws, the laws that are on the books right now.
well the how you call I'm not from America, but
Oh, where you're from?
I'm Venezuelan.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean I know the electoral district and all that, the
And what do you mean?
schools.
Schools? No, can you give an example of 3 laws? Oh, we lost one. You had to leave? Okay. Can you give an example of 3 laws currently on the books that are racist?
No, I don't know the U.S. Constitution. No, but yeah.
Okay. Do you think that that is sufficient evidence to cause you to not assert the claim so strongly if you can't name 3 laws? Do you think that would be sufficient for you to move to the agree?
No, because I do know that capitalism is what I'm not saying that capitalism is like, well, yeah. I know that capitalism is with what we live in the Western, and at least I honestly all over the world, and it implements and keeps nurturing the racist practice. You cannot have capitalism without racism.
Unpack that just a little for me.
That last claim,
Yeah, please.
what? Yeah,
Can you do it in like 4 sentences?
I mean, it's racial capitalism, and it comes from facts as like the prison industrial complex and how it is. You cannot have capitalism without inequality, basically, and
Without inequality or without racism?
without
Capitalism cannot function without inequality.
Yeah, that's what I tried to say.
Okay, so do you think that this capitalist system itself is inherently racist?
I think that in order for capitalism to function, there must be inequality. And because America has such a racist history, that inequality becomes racial inequality. So
So it's not.
inherently, yeah. But I think what it has progressed to be has turned.
And so that there are kind of levers behind the system. Design might be too strong of a word, although maybe you'll think design, but there are kind of levers behind the system keeping minorities down.
Yeah, absolutely. Mainly through the form of policies.
So how come you're not on this strongly agree?
Because like I said, I don't think every policy is racist. I don't think every person is racist. I don't think every politician is racist. But I think historically the majority have been, and still currently the majority are. And so, yeah.
So is what she just said sufficient to move you to agree?
The thing is that I think she's taken America as like everyone that lives in America, and I'm taking it as a governmental institution and like as historical state.
The government. I count the government in. Yeah.
I'm counting the U.S. government and yeah,
So you're interpreting America as racist how? Is the government.
yeah through
The government and the economic system.
I'm not saying that the government is like directly racist. I think that it's just a notion that we keep nurturing capitalism, and I don't think it's changeable. I think it's just how it is. And
Okay, so what would you have to hear or learn to move you to the agree?
I think I always say that another historical moment as big as colonization has to happen for the world we live in not to be racist and capitalist.
Okay, but that's a different question. So For you to move from
doesn't happen. Yeah.
yeah, so but for you to move from strongly agree to agree, because if you are you telling me that there's no evidence at all that would move you from strongly agree to agree?
I cannot say that there's nothing in the world that would say that. 'Cause
Well,
I'm
just
not- like I don't know anything in the world.
right, but just hypothetically, like if a magic man, if a super smart magic man came here and said, "Well, here's a fact that you didn't know about," and when you heard that fact, it would move to agree. What would that fact be?
I wouldn't know the fact.
Well, what would it look like?
If it's a magic man that's showing me a fact, I wouldn't know the fact because
Okay, well, what if it's just a super important, a super smart researcher came from one of your professors here, and
if it's someone super smart, a big researcher, one big professor, and he knows something that I don't know, then I cannot tell you what it is. 'Cause I don't know
okay,
it.
okay, so let me phrase it like this: in order to be confident that you strongly disagree with the claim that America is racist, wouldn't you have to at least have in your mind the conditions under which you would change your mind to justify your confidence in the belief?
So you mean that I should be in the agreeing side, like just agree because I don't know anything. I don't
No.
know everything in the world.
No, that's not what I mean. In order to justify the fact that you strongly agree to that, wouldn't you have to have significantly wrestled with thoughtful people who argue something different? And I don't mean different like way on the end of the spectrum. I mean different like literally one line of tape over.
Yeah, but I haven't done that.
Okay, so if you haven't done that, then how are you justified in your confidence?
What I know now, that's why I'm here. Like I have done some stuff before, and the stuff that I've done led me to be here. Probably a year ago, I'll be in neutral, but that's
That's interesting. So you've actually moved to strongly agree as a result of your education here at Berkeley.
in my education. Like I don't know, I'm 21 now. I guess since I've been 18 till 21. Yeah, just growing up, I guess.
So let me ask you a question. So do you hear the other side of the argument that America is not racist? Is that something you hear?
Yeah, I think I've heard it. Yeah, definitely.
And you disagree? And you not only do you disagree with that, but you think you have reasons to rebut those positions that justify you being in this category.
Yeah, because I think the people that I have seen that argue the opposite do not agree that capitalism is racist or that capitalism is bad even. So
Okay. So you got to go. I'll be quick, very quick. So real quick. So, what would it take to move you to either slightly agree or strongly agree?
I don't think there's anything at all that would move me further to the left.
Is there anything he said that would move you further to the right?
I mean, I agree with everything he said, but I still stand by what I say, and I don't think that there's anything that can rebut what I said, that like America is racist, but I wouldn't say I wouldn't put myself in strongly agree because I don't think everyone is.
Okay, so let me ask you one question. Do you think there's a truth of the matter about that question?
sorry, I did not get that question.
Like, do you think that there is a truth to be known about that question? Like, do you think that is kind of a gradient true-false question? Like this, like it's here.
Okay.
Am I clear?
Yeah. I know what you mean. I'm thinking. I would say there's a true or false. Yeah.
So if there's a truth, then somebody is standing on the wrong line. That's what that means by definition.
Yeah.
So either she is standing on the wrong line or you are standing on the wrong line.
Yeah.
So how do we figure out who's standing on the wrong line? And are you willing to move over?
Well, the arguments I've heard of her don't make me move to her line.
Do the arguments you've heard of him make you move over? Want to make you move over?
No. Because he hasn't addressed my core argument, which is not every person that sits in government, I would say, is racist. Not every policy that has been implemented is racist. Not every single person is racist.
If he would address that to your satisfaction, would you move over?
Yeah, probably.
Are you capable of addressing her claim to her satisfaction?
I can argue some, yeah. I think that we all like. I think that colonization was such a big issue that we all have colonial aspects in our mind. Like I myself, I'm Venezuelan. I have Spanish heritage. I have Native American heritage and African American heritage, and I think that there's still big colonial part of my mind that with education and with growing up, that still exists in me, and like it's been nurtured. So I think that with that being in your mind and with colonization having happened, there's always racist aspects in our current life. And
Okay, cool. So I've kept you guys way too long, and I appreciate you're doing this. So what did you learn? What did you learn about what you think about this topic from these questions? If you learn anything, that's fine too.
well, I like talking about this in like this sense. Yeah.
Oh, so for you enjoyed it. Did you learn anything or no? It's fine to say no.
Yeah. I learned like your point of view. Yeah, for sure.
Did it make you challenge or question any of your own assumptions?
For sure. Yeah.
Interesting. What did?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. I didn't mean to.
No, I just said for sure. That's it.
Did you learn anything from this?
I learned that it's important to think very critically about the statements that you make, especially because most of the statements that you make like follow a gradient. Like even things that we once used to believe that were facts are no longer factual today. Information's always changing. I mean, knowledge is considered a theory as is time. So I feel like it's very important to be very, very critical in any statements that you make and be able to back up your statements not only with facts, but I think personal stories are also just as valuable.
All right. Well, thank you guys for participating. I appreciate it. Thank you.